spreadsheet. We got to see if anything's working. My goodness. We got, yeah, seems to be working. Up. We got all kinds of stuff up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I got my sport coat on today. I'm John Nicklash for the WDMA. Okay, let's dig in. I'm a little behind today, as usual. And today I want to talk about TickTok because Mark Ritson is talking about TickTok. So we got to dig in on that. Restream is not showing me your comments, which is sort of normal, and it'll probably ask me for 100 different pictures of fire hydrants. Nope, looks like it's working. Comment if you can. Let's get over to the news. And first we're going to start with a little fun. Since you may or may not be part of TickTok, you know, I have an account somewhere, but I don't watch it very much. So I just brought up a compilation for you. This first, well, it just goes like this, okay? You open it up and it just starts playing. And one of the points that one of the commenters made in the articles I'm covering today was that TickTok is very audio focused. So this is a great example. You have to read the captions. You get into a major car crash, but you drive a manual. Now he makes sure it's in neutral. I don't know why. Uh-oh. He spanks his sister.
It was great.
It was great. And the other sister locks them into the room. There was one more that
I'm gay, gay. My bitch is gay. My brothers is gay. Even the stick is gay. Doja Cat is gay, gay, gay. But I don't swing that.
And this is the way it works. It just kind of goes endlessly like this. Point of view, it itches deep inside your hand. And then they just add a little sound to it. And it just goes on and on and on. And unless you tell it you don't want to see that one, you can swipe off and go to the next one. But then it just keeps feeding some more. And it's really hard to stop because you just want to see, well, what's next? That wasn't so great, but let's see what's next. It's endless. Okay, now before I go on, let's go over here and well, that isn't very interesting, right? It looks like just white text on white paper. Let's see if we can get there we go. Let's get over to Ritson. You can't beat TickTok by becoming its clone. But before we do, I just sent out another email, and I'm not this good at it. I think I did. I don't know if I did. On Friday, I sent one, and the style consultant, I think, sent one. And, you know, so we're having some challenges letting me in on this. And you know, I get, some days I get 3 or 4 for Namoa. And so I'm not, you know, this is the first one we've sent out since April. So average it out, and you're basically getting one a month, even if you're getting one every day for the next 2 or 3 days. But I want you to come to the August 18th, 2 p.m. Chicago time. I want you to get over to WDMA to register because I think it's really going to, I think it's going to be good. I've been working on this for a couple of weeks. I've been pulling up stories in a kind of a categorical way to try to illustrate how to find hidden gold in your company. My first 2 editions of my book were only about machine learning, and you know, not many people do that. Most of you don't have the circulation to make that really work. You got to be dropping 100,000 pieces at a time. You know, better if you've got 1 million pieces at a time. But most mailers these days are, you know, are not that doing those kind of drops anymore. So at the same time, over the last 40 years, I've seen dramatic growth and profitability by observation and by looking for certain things in companies when I come in. And so I'm going to teach you with the stories about things beyond just the modeling. We'll talk about modeling, and we'll talk about the benefit of it and how you can benefit from it even if you're not doing a 1 million piece drop. But mostly it's going to go beyond there. It's going to go beyond there to the insights that you can apply to your company. And so I think you're going to really enjoy it. If nothing else, lots of stories. Okay. So let's get over to Mark Ritson. You can't beat TikTok by becoming its clone, right? Does that make sense? Sure. And there's a lot of meat here about business strategy in general. And that's part of why I like Mark Ritson, because he does that. Okay, so there's only 4 good things about TikTok. Large monthly user base, 45-minute average daily spend by the users, average, okay, compared to about a half an hour for the next best of anybody, and they're not even that high anymore. A peculiarly ad-appropriate design, and I'm going to talk specifically about the design in a little bit, which allows you to blend promotional content seamlessly into TikTok's endless video stream, and meteoric growth. And I've shared, I don't know, 3 or 4 videos over the last few years about how TikTok had stalled, but it's been the number 1 app downloaded for about a year and a half now. Number 1 over everybody else. Okay, the time to 1 billion users. Okay, Facebook took almost 9 years. YouTube 7, WhatsApp 7, Instagram 7.5, TikTok 5 years to 1 billion users. Okay. And now they had a little bit of a leg up because, you know, it was originated in China. So they got 1 billion right off the bat. All they need is everybody in China. Whereas these guys started in English, which is, you know, a sliver language. Okay, it's been a decade and a half since the invention of Facebook, right? But time passes, user trials turn into habit, and innovation becomes industry standard. Right. Thus it was once, and thus it will always be. See, this is the long-term strategy. And so disruptors are now ripe for disruption. Okay. In internet years, that's a lifetime, a whole generation. And those non-existent barriers to instant customer recruitment can now work in an equally vertiginous I'll have to highlight that one. Vertiginous, which I'm assuming is vertigo-like manner in reverse. Okay, you know, you read these articles and then you try to read them out loud and it's a whole different kettle of fish. Vertiginous. I've never seen that word before, but I think it means you can drop even faster than you grew when people start to leave in the massive numbers for something that they're more excited about. Okay. And being a disruptor, I thought this was good, confers 0 skill to handle disruption. Those companies that built their growth from aggressively targeting legacy companies are probably more vulnerable to those attacks themselves. Right? They showed us how to do it. And Mark said he's astonished. There's an astonishingly underwhelming reaction to TikTok's rapid growth. Instagram was about curation and community and not about recommending videos. Okay. So what did everybody do? And he went through the key competitors. Instagram's competitor response can be summarized as follows. More video, though Instagram was really built on images, not videos. Make videos shorter and full screen. Auto full screen is the way TikTok works. You know, other platforms, you have to click on it to blow it up and get it to start running. TikTok, it's running and you have to stop it. Okay, we'll get into that in a second. And use an algorithm. They all have algorithms. And I've got some tips for YouTube when we get there. And then YouTube announced shorts that look a lot like TikTok. I hate those shorts because they aren't well targeted to my interests. And now I don't spend enough time on TikTok to get it to my interests either, right? But I've noticed on YouTube that I see the same videos over and over and over listed. I've not watched them over and over and over and over and over in my recommended videos, you'd think they could change up their algorithm, or at least if I've seen that video, I don't know, 36 times and not clicked it, maybe they could put some new ones in there. I've noticed if you take a completely different category of video that the recommendations will change. But if, say, you like subsistence farming and exotic sailing race, global sailing races, and barn car rebuilds, and you keep going around those categories, you'll see the same recommended videos over and over and over. You got to jump out of the category to find something different. And maybe you're not that interested in the category, but you just clicked on something and watched it. Doesn't matter. It's really, they're very, very sticky, and they basically are boring. So he told his friend that TikTok was advertising on YouTube and switched him across to the site without him realizing it. And what had really happened was YouTube Shorts had come up without him realizing it. And basically the same thing. It's funny. He says you can't tell the difference. Then Snapchat video, shorter videos, and algorithm. And Facebook, now he gets to Facebook. And what's interesting is that I haven't used Facebook in years for much. I wasn't on it for a long time. I wasn't on it at all. But what I learned was that there were lots of bee groups on Facebook. There was treatment-free bees. There was Layens-style hive bees. There was Spanish beekeepers in English. There's a Spanish in Spanish. There's Wisconsin beekeepers. There's Midwest beekeepers. There's Michigan treatment-free Layens hive beekeepers. There's Milwaukee beekeepers. There's Waukesha County beekeepers. There's Dane County beekeepers. You can go completely berserko in beekeeping Facebook groups. And I have, I think. And you don't ever see any ads. It's the great part. You just get notifications that there's new videos posted, and you go there. And I never see any ads. And I see plenty and plenty and plenty of YouTube content. And every now and then I watch a video that's posted in a group. And it'll launch me into the Facebook video category, and it'll start showing me inane videos that go on and on and on and on for 20 minutes. Andrew Ettinger does this. He posts videos. So I click on Andrew's videos, get a notification, and then I'm in the video category, and then all of a sudden I'll get something about how to catch anacondas by hand, and they'll be digging a ditch to try to dig out the anaconda from its burrow. And they literally have staged this thing to go on and on and on and on, because somehow that helps the algorithm, I guess, on Facebook. So it's terrible. It's just terrible. It makes me want to never go back, and it makes me want to never click a video on Facebook. But if I click one, I get out, and I now know that. And so what they've done is they're basically destroying their own brand. YouTube with their recommendations, their poorly done recommendations. Facebook with their locking you into something that you don't want. I hate TikTok because, for one thing, it comes up and blares at me right off the bat. It's like, ugh. And for another, if there was any in human history, as there was anything designed to be a waste of time, it's TikTok. After you finish your 45 minutes on TikTok, try to remember any of the videos you just saw. It's like pure titillation on steroids. I think you're probably training your brain just to turn off and just absorb. So anyway, but what I wanted to get at was that TikTok algorithm and how Facebook and Instagram and others have not captured it. Kylie Jenner and Kim Kardashian agreed that they didn't like the new Instagram video format. They have combined, they have 686 million followers, and they decided to start a petition to stop Instagram from trying to be TikTok. because their Instagram is a little more visual than Facebook and a little less community. But I mean, the B groups aren't nearly as big, but they are in that more in that genre. So uh, so TikTok immediately stopped. However, Ritson says Masseri clearly did not get the bigger point. The TikTokification of Instagram will continue despite the fact that users don't want Instagram to be TikTok. They'll just try again and try and do it better. Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about why TikTok works so well. TikTok is powered by a recommendation engine, but it's the same basic statistical algorithms that I've been using for 25 years and really were invented in the 1950s. I watched one of the tech people at Google do a whole seminar on their recommendation engine and how they find what they think you'll like and what they think you're looking for. And she admitted this is all from the 50s. The thing that makes it work is identifying what you actually like versus what we think you like. That's the puzzle. That's the puzzle. And what TikTok does is their entire design here over on the right is designed to answer that question. So you can like it, you can swipe it, you can comment, you can share. These are levels of liking, and you can also get rid of it. Okay, and the next one comes right up. Their best try at the next one. They don't care who your friends are. They don't care about any of that. They just care about trying again, and they give you another try, and they see if they get it right. This is heuristic, iterative, scientific method, if you will, and they do get it right because over and over they iterate, and you have to tell them to stop. You have to tell them what you don't like. And as I pointed out, I don't know, dozens and dozens of times, it's easier to model what you don't like than what you do like. If you're high income, high education, high population density, and we think you're going to like a Bugatti, but you might like a Ferrari instead, or you might like a Jaguar, or Jack Miller explained why he had a Jaguar and not a Rolls Royce like his brothers got. What you are going to actually choose with all your money and resources is very difficult to predict, and it may change with the wind, right? And you may already have 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 or 15 luxury cars. So what's the next one? It might be the one you don't have, but it might also be a new variety of what you do have. It's hard to tell, but it's probably not going to be a Chevy or a Nissan Leaf, right? That's not going to be it. And, I would love to tell ESPN that I don't care about women's basketball finals. It's not that I don't like women. It's not that I don't like basketball. It's I just don't, and every time I bring it up, there it is. Even when they know who I am, doesn't matter. There's no way to tell them. They don't want to know. TikTok wants to know. Can't do that in Twitter. Goes by, and they don't know what you're doing. They have no clue what's going on in what you like and especially what you don't like. And Trung Fan, great article, just a short little article, but you got to read it, okay, if you want to understand TikTok. And finally, here's an article about how to if you're going to advertise, good article, good summary. Don't create an ad. Hire a TikTok creator because they can create in minutes or certainly an hour or two new content. TikTok is also designed for rapid content creation. Okay, very, very fast. And they have a lot better idea than your ad agency what's working, because they're in it every day and they're creating new stuff all the time. Okay, it's enough for today. Oh, I wanted to say, Ritson, spot on. I worked with about 6 safety companies all at the same time. Everybody wanted to be like lab safety that would grown and grown and grown and grown and grown. And in every case, I talked them out of it. And I looked at what was key about their company. differentiation is not dead. This is basically about this, about how you need to do something different. By playing the game your way, to your strengths, on your terms, it remains one of the hallmarks of successful business strategy. I'm working on a potential acquisition, and the first thing I did when I talked about to the equity firm was I told them why I thought, though this company was compatible with ones they'd recently acquired, why it was different, why it was a little bit unique, and it offered something that they can't easily build. They said they're interested. It's it's a little bit small for them. There's other hurdles that would have to be uh, jumped, but that's where we started. We started with the uniqueness. When every platform opts for short-form videos derived from user-based sources taking up the full screen of each app and scrolling vertically from one to the next, there ain't a lot of pixels left for distinctive brand assets. And most importantly, these competitors don't understand why TickTok works. It's not their algorithm per se. It's the user interface that's designed to give the algorithm the information it needs. The same reason that mail allows machine learning and AI to work when no other medium does. And that'll be in the session on Thursday. Learn why you should be doing mail, if only to give information to your machine learning project, if only to find the gold in your customers. Have a great day. Like and share. Some people have been sharing. It's great. Sharing is the best way to get the word out. Likes don't count. Not